Aloha. Welcome to Ably Seminars sessions. Today, we're going to talk about Equal Credit Opportunity Act, or called ECOA, ECOA. And you go, what is that? Well, it prohibits discrimination in lending on the basis of sex, marital status, old age, race, color, religion, national origin, or receipt of welfare if the person is eligible for credit in all other aspects. Now, we can understand things like race, color, religion, but this new sentence that came out saying receipt of welfare if the person is eligible for credit in all other aspects. So when this new rule came out, or this new clause in who qualifies, the federal government had seminars for real estate agents to understand what they meant. So I went to one of those seminars, and I was curious, what is the receipt of welfare to be able to qualify for a loan? So the person that was holding the seminar said, in America, we have lots of people that are on government assistance for rental income or for rents payments. So what the federal government said was, let's have these people that are receiving, say, $2,000 a month in government support for rental payment. Let them use it as if it was income coming to them, like they earned it. They didn't, but like they earned it, so they can use that income of, say, $24,000 a year to qualify for a loan, even though it wasn't their money. Now, people go, that doesn't make sense. If it's not their income, why are you allowing them to use it as qualify for a loan? So the person doing the presentation said, if these people that have a job, that have decent income, but don't have the chance to buy a house, this income they get from government subsistence will be able to help them qualify for a loan to buy a house or a condominium. And that way, they can stop being a recipient of federal government support, and they can eventually pay off their mortgage and be a homeowner. So from an altruistic point of view, I guess that was pretty good. And so they had some guidelines that you have to have a job, you have to have a good credit report, a great credit score, and whatever. And so maybe a year or two later, I found out that many of these people that wanted to be in the program were not ready to be homeowners. And they weren't ready because they were afraid, they didn't make enough money, they didn't have enough savings, or whatever it was, but the program did not succeed like the government was hoping it would. So that was very interesting, that they had this clause in there that said that receipt of welfare subsistence for rent could count towards your income to qualify for a loan, and unfortunately, it did not work out. Now, the lenders, under the ECOA, cannot discriminate. So here's some things that they cannot ask for. They cannot question applicants about their plans to have children in the future, which is interesting. And they cannot require additional co-signers because the applicant is a single woman, which is discriminatory towards females. And nor can they refuse to put their account in the separate name of either the husband or the wife. So back in the day, many years ago, there were discriminations against the females, but not the males. And so this ECOA law is attempting to get rid of some of these discrepancies and prejudices. There's two interesting questions that come up in a state exam because I teach pre-licensing. And one of them said, there's a single lady who's 64 years old and is expecting a child. And the question was, can the lender say, hey, after you give birth, who's going to take care of the child, and how are you going to make the mortgage payments? And the law says that if they qualify right now, you cannot ask them those future questions. If they qualify, you have to give them a 30-year loan. That was one. Second question was, an older man, age 93, he qualifies for a 30-year loan. He has enough income. So the lender cannot say, sir, you're past the mortality table, you should be dead by now, So therefore, we can't give you a 30-year loan. This ECOA law says that if they qualify today, you have to give them a loan, even if it's a 30-year loan. So that's kind of interesting that they have these far-fetched questions that probably will not happen, but you cannot discriminate. So hope you understand a little bit more about what the Equal Credit Opportunity Act does in trying to level the playing field of all the borrowers and not discriminate based on these categories that we just talked about. Hope this helps. Aloha.